Hey gang, what's going on? It's your guy coming to you live from the 405 inside the Zagnif Mobile. It is a beautiful day out here today. It's going to be another beautiful weather day here in Oklahoma. The fall that we didn't get until November, when Christmas is like Christmas and winter is like a month around the corner. Anyway, yeah, this Oklahoma weather is crazy. Anyway, uh some shakeup in the structure of the college football playoff where the SEC is concerned. The Alabama Crimson Tide fall to the Sooners of Oklahoma straight out of Norman. They go into Bryant Denny and get it done. John Mateer and the Sooners in a very dominant, Brent Venables as well. We don't want to throw the coach out the window. In a very defensively dominant performance that saw the Sooners on top when the horn went off and the clock struck 0-0 at the end of the fourth quarter. So that does a little bit of a shakeup as far as the SEC, not college football playoff, but SEC championship is concerned. If you remember, prior to yesterday and all the games kicking off, not Oklahoma, Alabama and Texas A&M were the front runners. Neither remix. Neither of them had lost a game in SEC play and looked like they were on a unchallenged run to the SEC championship. Texas A&M looked like they were going to fall short. They were down 27-3 at the half. An amazing 27-3, 30-3 at the half. Came back, shut out South Carolina and the Gamecocks and Beamer Ball with an amazing 31-0 run in the second half to win, to preserve their undefeated SEC record and undefeated record as well, will more than likely leapfrog Alabama in the rankings when they come out. Why? Because Alabama could not get it done. Unfortunately for the Crimson Tide, could not get it done against Oklahoma. The defense was stifling. This is a defense that we saw against Auburn and said, that could be trouble. That struggled a little bit here and there in a couple of games between the Auburn game and now. But this is a defense that now is looking very scary as we move closer to the college football playoffs. We've seen this act before, where a team looks like they might be dominant, kind of falls off a little bit in the middle part of the season, and then comes on strong to close it out going into the playoffs. That's definitely what Brent Venables has managed to generate with the Sooners. So the Sooners reign victorious. Alabama now has a blemish on their SEC record. Well, how does that change things? Well, A&M is still unchallenged going into the playoffs. Should they win out, which it is very highly likely they will do, with the Longhorns being at the tail end of their season. And if the Longhorns that played Georgia yesterday show up against A&M, that's a win. I don't have the schedule pulled up, so I don't know who to have up next. Yes, do more research, do better before you do your videos, Anthony. Yes, I know. Anyway, it's just Texas A&M is more than likely going to reign victorious in that matchup. Texas looking unsure of themselves, not the Texas we've seen the last few weeks that have been, while not dominant, have been consistent and good enough to win games against their opponents, which from what we saw from Arch Manning, or the Arch Manning that we saw early in the season, he was there yesterday. Anyway, A&M is going to wind up, if A&M wins out, A&M is in the SEC championship. As far as Alabama is concerned, now we've got a whole tangle because we have Alabama, who lost to Oklahoma. We have Georgia, who lost to Alabama. We have Mississippi State, who lost to Georgia. And all three of these teams have one single loss in SEC play. So now you got to get into what the tie-breaking procedures are, because Ole Miss is not going to get in over Georgia, and Georgia's not going to get in over Alabama, but all of them have one loss. I have not looked up the rules which I'm sure are quite long and drawn out, as to how they determine these tiebreakers. But as stands right now, that's what you've got. And I do believe, no, that's it. I think those are all the one-loss teams within the SEC in SEC play. So now they've got to start digging and looking to see who gets the spot. So now Alabama is in a must-win the rest of our games situation going into the final couple of weeks in the season, in which they have to face Auburn. And I do believe they're playing at Jordan-Hare. And we know that strange things happen at Jordan-Hare when Alabama is there. So Georgia, of course, finished with conference play. So we don't foresee them losing to Charlotte. And even though Georgia Tech is still looking very good in comparison to Georgia Tech teams of the past, and in terms of their overall win-loss record, don't really foresee them losing to Georgia Tech either. So Georgia will more than likely finish the season out at 11-1, and even not receiving an SEC championship bid, will more than likely march on into the playoffs. So we'll see how this whole thing plays out. It's just going to be, this has been a fun season to watch. It has gone by way too quickly. It seems like we waited for it to come forever. And then it started, and now it's almost over. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see how everything shakes out. But excellent job by the Dogs getting it done yesterday in grand fashion against Texas. Excellent job by the Sooners in the victory over the Tide. Tide fans, don't worry. You still the Crimson Tide. You'll be okay. Trust me. Excellent job by A&M getting it done. A&M, a big surprise this year. Not that there haven't been an average to good program over the years, but I don't think if you polled anybody, I think when Colin and I did the predictions at the beginning of the season, we had A&M at 8-4, and now here they are on the cusp of going undefeated through the remainder of the season. So, great job to those who won. Chin up to those who did not. We got a couple more weeks of ball to play, so let's see how this whole thing shakes out. I've got to go and get in here. I don't have the headphones on, but you know what time it is. It's time to go lift and sweat. I'll catch up with you guys later. Colin and I will be back, okay? We will be back very soon. You guys stay tuned, and we'll let you know when we're coming back. In the meantime, between time, you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon. I will catch up with you later. And oh yeah, by the way, go Dogs.